Welcome to your Farm and Home Show. My name is Joanna Coles, and today we're visiting with Kristin Hildabrand, Warren County Extension Agent for Horticulture.
Yes, so we're getting into that season of fall. We started with a beautiful centerpiece, and this is a tray, Joanna, that we have used several times, but it's very, natural because of the wooden kind of structures. So what we have done is we have added some cobalt blue bud vases here, and so we have filled those up with water. So the first thing that we've added here is some moss, and it's really a decorative moss that we just picked up. Then we also have a little bit of the fuzzy green as well as some purple accents to it as well. So it just kind of enhances the colors. And then we've also added some really pretty decorative pumpkins. Now, it is a little bit early for us to have some pumpkins, but when we get closer into the month of October, you'll start to see those available. Really, even in mid-September, you'll see them too. We've also just kind of accented with some decorative picks. This is actually kind of called like a pumpkin lantern look to it, so you can further accent. I know other things that you could use, like berries for the fall season. You could go out and kind of see what's available there. And then two, grasses I feel like are really good around the fall of the year as well.
Yeah, and so you mentioned 3 or 5 odd numbers with design, right?
Yes.
That's kind of the key there. And then what I think is great is, besides the flowers, there's not much maintenance.
No, and this is something, like I said, that, it can stay predominantly really on up to Thanksgiving, like you mentioned, and we're just going to accent all of this with a local flower that you'll see here in Kentucky. This is a dahlia, and dahlias are very unique. I really like them because they're different in size, they're different in color. They're a great conversation starter too, especially if you're growing these at home in your garden. And so we've gotten this actually, dahlias available from Petal Seekers Flower Farm, and you can kind of see the colors here are very unique of fall. So we've kind of got a darkish purple, almost maroon color, again accented with some orange bronze, and then there's also some white ones too. But you can find other colors. I know the only color I haven't seen is blue, but again, we're picking that up from our blue vases here. Yes, so once you find these available, you can just kind of basically, and it doesn't really matter on the height. If you're putting this on a table, I would probably say that you would want to keep it so conversation flow would be good, but you don't necessarily have to do that. So I'm just going to strategically place these. I am using some hand pruners here, just making sure you cut the stems at a diagonal, and then you can just drop it down in there. Now, I'm only using one, but you can certainly use more than one, but you can kind of space that around if need be. And like I said, a lot of times people like to have, like you said, something fresh to pop in and change out. And I would just say with these vases, they're a little bit small, but you can change out the water real easily, recut your stems, and then have this really pretty decoration around your table. I would say that as long as you're recutting and changing the water out pretty daily, it should keep for, I would say, at least a week, maybe a little bit longer. But it does depend on the freshness of the stem whenever you purchase it. But, as far as finding this particular flower, I know that we have, the CCD has a great website that shows a map of all the flower farmers in the state of Kentucky. So if you're not sure where to purchase dahlias for this time of year, you can certainly check that out. Or I know here in Bowling Green, we're very fortunate to have the Soki Floral Exchange, and so you could pick up some that for whatever kind of party or function you're doing.
Yeah, and then I love it because it's low, so you can still talk, but it looks pretty, it looks nice, and you have some table settings here.
Yes.
For just to kind of add a little bit to it, so you can kind of change it up.
Yeah, so based on the plates that you might want to use to kind of coordinate with what you have, we have a kind of a really nice tablecloth, and really that was just something that I've already had at my home. I just used that to kind of pick up some of the different colors. But if you have more of a formal get-together or gathering, you can do something like this china, or if you have something more for everyday usage, certainly you can pick up with some nice colors. And then we also have just a little bit of some decorative things here that kind of add a little bit more embellishment to the plate. You can always put out really pretty silverware wrapped with a napkin, and you know, if you're having several people, just add a little bit of their name to, like a little tent card. Put a little bit of some local touch with the flowers.
All right, Kristin, well, it's gorgeous. If you need some inspiration for your tablescape or a centerpiece, make sure to contact your local extension office. Thanks for watching and have a great day.